Angelique evolves towards the within, because when she comes into the series and it's this mayhem of a husband, which to her is her one love and will always be her husband, and the confusion around his death and everything that happens. So for her, it becomes like a settling into herself more. Once all that is sorted and we know the reason and how he died, presumably, although there are many truths. And for me, she's a digger for truth. She'll dig, she'll mine.
I think, you know, back in July, I think when we started the show, SJ was more of a golden boy. I think the image that they were trying to portray was a little bit of like flawlessness. Yeah, he had a little bit of naivety about him, and he was a bit, you know, he didn't have maybe much of a backbone back then. He's like, you know, the only boy, and he's trying to be more, he was a little bit more people-pleasing. I think where we are now in the storyline, I think there's been like an evolution of SJ where you can tell there's a little bit more to him than the audience thought there would be. You know, the darker shades are coming in, like a couple of secrets that he had been keeping from the family comes to light.
Stefan has evolved, I think, event-based. Like, he's been like caught up in all these things, and it just doesn't seem to stop for him at all. But I think on an emotional level, the character development is yet to get there, in the sense of him realizing what he's getting himself into day after day.
So I think the last time we spoke in a very general way, which touched on all the facets of her life. Her as a businesswoman, as a corporate woman, as a mom, as a wife of a billionaire. She's got the glamour life. I think we are still exploring that, but the one thing that we're now touching on is what makes her tick, and that has a lot to do with her past. And it's not an easy past, it's not a happy past, and it is wonderful that the storyline where it is starting to intersect with the Dineo before the wealth, the Dineo before the children that we know now. And I'm just getting to dig into some of the mysteries that have created the Dineo we see in the Price family.
Okay, so I think Elizabeth has evolved a bit and found her feet more like in the company and her work in the community and stuff. So I've kind of adjusted playing her more to like the supportive one and the structured one, and more, because at the beginning she was a lot like trying to be like Felicity, the very strong and fierce one, but also envying Lexi because she just couldn't care less. And I think now she's kind of found her feet more in being herself more.
When we started shooting, I think we were all a little unclear on who Lexi really was, which is a great place to start because you can go anywhere. I started to read a lot more comedy into it, I think, just because I didn't really know what to do. She ended up being such a funny character, adding a bit of humor into it. She's quite dry, she has a dry sense of humor. Also, like, this is gonna sound crazy, but she has like a form of Asperger's, I'd say, because she always says inappropriate things without realizing that it has an impact on anyone, which I kind of love. Obviously, we're going on to episodes 40 now, and things start to get a lot darker, I'd say, for Lexi. Real stories are coming in, so we get to see a whole different side.